sport.
The man is incredible.
The thrill of victory.
Absolutely the best.
And the agony of defeat.
Look at him go! Oh, baby. Oh, no.
This is ABC's Wide World of Sports.
The month of May is upon us, and the eyes of the world are on one track. The greatest spectacle in racing has room for only 33 of the most skilled and brave drivers on the planet. Today will be the first step toward their dream. But before you can start this historic 500-mile race, you must first qualify. Man must become one with machine, pushing the limits of the human body. 4 drivers in today's field have taken the honor of being the fastest around this 2.5-mile track.
Buddy Rice is the pole sitter at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
In 2004, Buddy Rice carried his pole day momentum onto a 500 victory.
I couldn't have asked for a better month of May.
Former series champions look to validate their places in history with an Indy 500 win.
I'd trade my championships for an Indy 500 win.
As a race car driver, I always want more. People anywhere in the world know about the Indianapolis 500.
Hard-charging rookies want to make a name for themselves among the elite.
It's not about being the best rookie. It's about being the best out of everyone.
I don't think I'm trying to make any other statement other than I'm the fastest there.
Making the field means everything, and at nearly 230 miles an hour, there is no room for error. All hopes and dreams begin to come true today. Welcome to the Mecca of racing. It is the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the heart of Indiana. As we welcome you to ABC's coverage of the 89th running of the Indianapolis 500, it's Time Trials Day. Unfortunately, Mother Nature had other concerns and other plans as temperatures right now sit at 64 degrees. Skies are partly cloudy. The wind is variable. Now, the 20% chance of rain is for later in the day. Humidity sits at 72, but it's the rain we had earlier in the day. It came down in sheets. There were sightings of arcs being built out on the corner of 16th and Speedway, and it has cleared up just a little bit. This was supposed to be the qualifying procedure today. Positions 1 through 11 would have been secured, followed by bumping. Taking us to tomorrow, which is Sunday, positions 12 through 22 available, again followed by bumping. Then moving on to the third day on May 21st, positions 23 through 33 available, again followed by bumping, and taking us to bump day on the 22nd. Any qualified attempt that is faster than a qualified entrant will bump the slowest qualifiers. I welcome in my colleague Scott Goodyear, Professor 101 in bumpology. What does this all mean to the drivers now when we are not going to qualify today?
Well, Todd, the key thing right now for all these guys and girl is that they have to go back and turn around and put themselves into the program again for today. And that means not getting very much sleep at all. And the key thing for them is they have to turn around and get themselves psyched up again to go out and go qualifying. The hardest 4 laps you'll ever drive is here at Indianapolis, to put in that 10 miles to get yourself turned around to have the opportunity to get the car out in qualifying.
And we welcome in the man who makes all the tough decisions, Brian Barnhart, the president of the Indy Racing League and the COO. Brian, it's been a hard day for you. I know we look behind us, we see blue skies. A lot of people are saying, second-guessing you, but I asked Scott earlier, if he was a driver still, would you put your car out there at 220, and you say it's not a good time?
Well, second-guessing me is not new to the game, that's for sure. But, you know, it's a very difficult situation because the racetrack has sunshine on it now, but we still have the old dreaded weeper problem still exists. We would not have gotten the racetrack to a position where we could put race cars on it till probably 3:30 to 4 o'clock today. That would not have given us enough time to do practice and then move into start the qualifying line at 5 o'clock. That just wouldn't have been fair for all the competitors and certainly not fair for the fans either.
Now, Brian, the track was repaved just last fall, and then the drivers came out and did some testing, and then they turned around and did a process called diamond grinding. Has that improved the track, or what's gone on with that?
Well, the track is better because it has a lot of grip in the corners, and the diamond grinding was done originally after the paving process to smooth out some of the bumps. It created a situation where we experienced some unexpected tire wear on the Firestone Firehawks. They came back and diamond ground the entire racetrack, and now the track has plenty of grip in the corners, so the track is very smooth, very fast. Unfortunately, we still deal with the water issues because of the bricks under the surface.
Now, last year we had a lot of accidents and things happen in turn 1, sort of a scary thing for drivers because there were some bumps. And then now this year it seems like we're having a problem in turn 2. We've had 3 incidents there so far. Anything going on over in turn 2? Anything coming out of the drivers to you?
Well, it doesn't look like it. We've talked to several of them, and the ones especially that have not had the problems over there have said that, you know, anytime you start trimming the car out and pushing the limits with grip, you will find there will be the trickiest spot of the racetrack somewhere around the track. apparently so far this week that has been turn 2 for at least 3 of the drivers.
We saw the skid marks in turn 2 that Scott alluded to. Does not having any racing today take away from the fireworks that we expected from the constant bumping, the 3 attempts per day? As we move to tomorrow, there'll be 22 cars hopefully qualified.
Well, it changes it some, yeah, because we thought we really had a great format in place. You could see and feel the intensity building all week long with all the teams, because not only the drama and excitement of going for the pole, but then you had a lot of teams to really make some strategic decisions based on making sure you're in the top 11 on pole day. And that factors into a lot of things, including your 35 set tire allocation, as well as pit selection process on race day.
Well, Brian, we thank you for your time. We know you've got a busy month, and folks, as they say, that's why you get paid the big money to make those decisions. Good luck to you the rest of the month, and thanks again for your time. Well, as Scott pointed out, we have had some excitement here at the track, some accidents in turn number 2. For more on that, and for more on Sam Hornish Jr., we check in with our colleague, Jack Arute.
Just when you think you've got the Indianapolis Motor Speedway figured out, this living, breathing organism can turn around and bite you. That's what happened to this driver just yesterday. Sam Hornish, he decided to get airborne. Take me through what happened in that crash.
Actually, believe it or not, that was the lesser of the 2 evils that I could have experienced. You know, we came off the corner there. We got way low down. I think I was only going about 160, and you know, you're just still trying to take speed off, but you don't want to get on it too hard, because you saw, you know, Matsura get on it when Buddy spun, and then he spun too. So you take chances that you give yourself another problem that way. But just started slowing down and trying to get through the debris field, and one of the half shafts was flipping down, and, you know, a 2-foot long piece of steel, you know, that's just a round thing, you know, that can punch through any part of the car. So I didn't want to hit that, so I just kind of went for what looked smaller. And, you know, I'm just, you know, thank God that, you know, we have all the safety devices that we do, and that I was able to see that, because I'd rather hit that other thing and flipped over than hit that, because it would have went through the tub, and yeah, it can protrude anywhere, you know, and into me, into the car, whatever. So it was a wild ride, but everything's okay.
Part of the gear cluster is what got you airborne. When you started to gain altitude, I know drivers say things slow down considerably. Take me through what the thought process was when you don't have 4 wheels on the ground anymore.
Well, I mean, yeah, as soon as it hit that, you know, it kind of jerked my head down, and as soon as I, you know, in the time that I could look back up, it was already up in the air and, you know, looking at the fence. So it was, you know, a heck of a ride. You don't ever expect that you get this 1,500-pound car up in the air like that, but you get that much air underneath anything moving that fast, and it's going to take off. And just pretty glad that that, you know, nothing worse happened, but everything did kind of slow down, and you just kind of bide your, you know, I was like still kind of, you're like, it's hard to not try to steer it while you're, you know, because you're, even though you have no control over it all. But it was just an experience that I'll never forget, I'm sure of that.
Did it rattle you?
No. I mean, if I had went out there and spun on cold tires and hit the wall, you know, that's the kind of thing that that rattles me. When I make a mistake where I made an error in judgment or didn't listen to what the car was trying to tell me. But, you know, that was just, you know, one of those freak things that happens in racing where, you know, you do so many laps and you run all the time, and you just, sometimes things don't work out the way that they should, or things sneak up on you and just happen like that. But yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm excited about getting back in the car, and hopefully we'll have a good run for qualifying day.
Should update you as well on the condition of Paul Dana, driver of the ethanol car. He is, for all intents and purposes, out of this race for the Indianapolis 500. He has suffered a spinal fracture, but that car, there is a backup car, and they are now shopping for a driver. Let's check in with Jamie Little and the Indy 500
Well, Jack,
champion.
we go from one guy that really wants to taste that milk and victory circle to a man that did just last year, Buddy Rice. Of course, if you've been watching lately, you saw the huge crash last week by Buddy. Are you okay? I know you, gosh, you suffered a concussion. You're a little bit sore. We're not going to see you this weekend. How are you feeling?
You won't see me on track, but you'll see me around. No, I feel fine. Everything's going good. Just disappointed that we're not going to be able to go out and try to put the number 15 Argent Pioneer car on the front row there. But, you know, I got 2 other good teammates. Both cars are capable of the front row and if not pole. And the Panos Honda combination showing it's the strongest.
Take us back to last year, Buddy, that pole day, qualifying 4 laps. What was that like? I know you just, you blew everybody away. People, just the size from everybody when you turned that fast lap.
Yeah, I mean, it was the fast lap of the month. It was an exciting day. Obviously, it's kind of like the weather we're having right now this month. On again, off again with the rain and the cold weather. But, you know, it was an exciting day. The whole month was exciting, and you know, this kind of slows our month down for 05. But I think that, you know, we know the cars are good, and we'll be good come race time. We'll just have to start from the back a little bit.
Start in the back and have to work your way through. Now, going into pole day, who's your pick?
I hope it's the 16 or 17 car. That's what I'm thinking. I think, you know, that's one of the things that we preach here and we do a real good job, is that everybody gets the same equipment no matter what. And I think that, you know, the cars were fast when unloaded. They're fast at the tire test, and you know, both of the other two cars have been up front, and that's, you know, it's just what it's going to take. You're just going to have to put it all together though for 4 laps, and hopefully one of them can do it.
Let's talk about the race now coming up in 2 weeks. Is it truly as amazing as we all say it is? Us in the media talk about how life-changing it is. Was it really that much for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was life-changing, but it doesn't, you know, you do a lot of interviews. There's a lot of people out here, obviously, as you can see behind me and stuff like that. But, you know, for me, my approach and the way I go about things hasn't changed. My lifestyle hasn't changed. I'm driving all the same stuff at home and living in the same house. So from that stuff hasn't changed. But there's things that do change, and I just don't think that in the first year or two you really understand the impact of what the 500 means or how much it changes your life until a few years down the road and you have time to sit back and reflect. I mean, I haven't slowed down and really had any time off since this time last year. And that's exciting because you can't say that very much as a race car driver. So, and I've added more racing this year with the 24 Hours of Daytona and now doing IROC. And, you know, we'll just see what happens. But, you know, it comes with the territory, and it's exciting, and it's something that, you know, it's a lifelong dream and a fulfillment finally.
You know, every year this race is so competitive, 3, 4 wide. What do you think we're going to see this year? Will it be any different?
No, I don't think it'll be any different. I think the competition is going to be even tighter. You know, there's some of the big teams have stepped up more cars. Some of the other teams that have come up have gotten bigger budgets, so their deal's much closer. So I think it's going to be tight all the way around. But, you know, it's gonna be the same thing. The people that hit the setup just right, the cars are going to go to the front just like always. And I think that we have some of the best shots right here at this at Ray Hall Letterman.
All right, Buddy Rice, number 15.
The Indianapolis 500 time trials on ABC Sports, brought to you by Target. Expect more, pay less. La Quinta, Spanish for a good night's sleep. And Samuel Adams.
Welcome back to Indianapolis, Indiana. There you see the threatening clouds. They have been with us for most of the day, unloading the rain, and now we've got blue skies. Unfortunately, as you heard earlier from the president of the Indy Racing League, Brian Barnhart, there will be no qualifying today. As we take a look at the 2005 IndyCar Series point standings, it is Dan Wheldon out in front ahead of his teammate Tony Kanaan. There's Sam Hornish Jr. in third, and Brian Herta sitting in fourth. So 3 Andretti Green drivers, excuse me, in the top 4. Elio Castroneves rounds out the top 5. He is the two-time Indianapolis 500 winner. As we take time to introduce you to Dan Wheldon, this guy has been absolutely on fire. A 75% winning percentage, winning the first 3 out of 4 races. First, he does the trick in Miami at Homestead to get the season off to a great start. Comes back in Phoenix, does not get the victory. He finishes 6th there, but you take him back to his hometown of St. Petersburg, Florida, and Dan Wheldon, once again, Johnny on the spot as he gets a perfect pass at the perfect time and takes the victory as the IndyCar Series goes road racing for the first time in its existence. Then we go to Motegi, Japan, a place that he was defending a championship, and he does it. Dan Wheldon gets the win at Motegi, Japan. So there you are up to speed. There you see the blue sky right now, but more rain is expected at the Indianapolis Motor Speedways. Absolutely no qualifying taking place today. As we introduce you to our new colleague joining us, let's set it down to Penn Holderness.
You know, having won 3 of the first 4 races this season and being incredibly popular now, as you can see, Dan Wheldon is a tough guy to catch up with. But when you do catch up with him, you find a quirky, fun-loving guy, known not only for his speed, but also for his style. You're about to start practicing. Everyone's getting their helmets on. We got guys covered in dirt. You've got more gel in your hair than anybody I've ever seen in a racetrack. Look at you, the most styling guy here.
We have an oil sponsor. I just use their product in my hair. No, I do wear this out to the nightclubs occasionally because it gets me girls. Oh, we're styling in all the areas.
Nice, man.
Englishman Dan Wheldon. Metrosexual.
I wouldn't wear that striped top.
Model.
The ones where we're having to lean up like this and show me sexy, as he says.
movie star?
If you could have anybody play you in a movie.
Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise?
Now, is there a celebrity that you'd like to get hooked up with?
Paris Hilton.
Really?
Me and her would, I think, would rock. Watch out, because when I see you, you're going to fall in love.
This 26-year-old Indy icon is enjoying his newfound fame.
It certainly enjoy giving my enjoyment to racing to the fans, too. I'll make sure I go fast and left. All right, have a nice day. I'll see you. You know, now I'm here. I want to stay here for a long time.
Despite being on top of the world, Wheldon keeps a level head, giving credit for his success to his Andretti Green teammates.
This team is the definition of teamwork. It really is. We race each other really hard, but there's a lot of respect there, so we will never cross that line.
Tell me this, when you're not racing, what are you doing?
Who's around? We're the bosses. I hang out with my teammate TK in Miami. A good buddy of mine has a very big boat, I think an 86-foot boat. What goes on that boat?
Stays on that boat.
Exactly.
What would it mean to get a win here?
I can't honestly put into words. I'm not really the crying type. In fact, I've rarely cried in my life, but this would be, I'm sure, one occasion where I would, and you wouldn't be able to control it.
And I'm here with Dan Wheldon now, or I guess I'm going to start calling you Crockett now. Is that okay?
Whatever you want to do, but whatever makes you happy. You're a rookie at Indy, so if that makes you comfortable, let's do it.
You know, you're not a rookie at Indy. You've seen this race before. Talk about what you've learned in your short experiences here at the track.
I feel like a rookie, I have to say. I mean, that you race against some guys that have been here a long, long time and know the place real well. Certainly when Michael Andretti was my teammate as well as boss. I mean, he just knew everything about the place. So there's a lot you learn. The main thing about this place is respect. You know, like the way you respect your manicure stuff. You respect your massage.
Right.
You know that guy, Tony Kanaan, you respect him too, right?
Speaking of which, we've got Tony Kanaan here now with a lovely candy bar. This is Andretti Green. This is last year's points champ.
The wife's much prettier than him.
Wow, yeah.
Oh, she's much more beautiful.
Am I?
How the hell did he get her?
That's an excellent question. Would you like to answer that?
Of course. Look how beautiful I am. I mean, I don't think I have to answer. Just look at me.
Well, now, and as far as Dan's a single guy. And I know in the package we told him Paris Hilton. You also said you're interested in maybe meeting Giselle. You're a Brazilian.
Yeah, my wife can hook him up. They're friends, so.
We got the reigning points champion. We got the points leader. Do you guys have like a side bet on who's going to win the Indy 500?
Well, I think as long as it's one of us Andretti Green boys, that will make Michael a happy guy. And when he's happy, he's off our back. So.
What do you think?
I think Dan said everything. We're going to try to keep it in the house. Have a pretty good chance, I would say. It's a long race, a long championship. We're both positioning pretty good right now, so we'll try. That's all we can do.
Tony Kanaan, Dan Wheldon. We'll catch up with you later on. You and I maybe can go shopping or like watch football or something, I guess. Nice meeting you guys. And
no, we want to ask him a question. Are you married?
Yeah, actually, I've been married for 20 days.
20 days?
Yeah.
Where was your honeymoon?
We went to the Peter Island Resort.
I'll hold the microphone.
Okay, sorry, go ahead. I did some honeymooning out in the
All right, thank you.
Okay,
That's it. Let's go.
No, wait, I have another question.
Scott, seriously, back to you, Scott and Tom.
So tell me about drafting. You're a rookie. We need to know. Do you know what that is?
Well, I know that the first pick goes to the team with the worst record, and then it goes.
He's funny for one of these TV guys, huh? He's just not as cute as Jamie Little.
Back to you guys in the studio, please, now.
Cut.
Losing all control with Dan Wheldon and Cuppy. There you see the four musketeers of speed: Brian Herta, Tony Kanaan, Dan Wheldon, and of course Dario Franchitti. They are fast indeed, and they will contend for the 89th running of the Indianapolis 500. Well, she's all female. She is certainly a rookie sensation, and she has gotten up to speed in a flash. When we come back, we'll introduce you to young Danica Patrick, taking the Brickyard by storm in the month of May.
Racing for how many years?
And this is my 4th year.
And you're doing a heck of a job. You were up there in 2nd place, and then about the last couple of laps, somebody got by you, that Ryan Langston guy.
Yeah. Oh, well, I did the best I could.
Memorial Day weekend means the greatest spectacle in racing. Join us at the legendary Brickyard for the 89th running of the Indianapolis 500, now starting at noon Eastern, Sunday, May 29th, right here on ABC Sports. Well, the blue sky continues, and I know Brian Barnhart, who joined us at the top of the show, is maybe rethinking, but as he pointed out to Scott Goodyear and myself, not safe to run someone out there at over 220 miles an hour if there's just a wisp of moisture on the track. Well, we showed you Danica Patrick at a young age. Danica Patrick is now all grown up, 23 years of age, and 2005 has not been a bad year for her. We saw her at Homestead, Miami come out. She started 9th, finished 15th despite the collision. And then at Phoenix, a very difficult track, starting 18th, moving up 3 positions, 15th. St. Petersburg, 15th, finished 12th. And then her breakout, Motegi, Japan, started 2nd, finished 4th. Let's take a moment and meet young Danica Patrick, certainly not driving like a rookie.
Danica started racing when she was 10 years old.
What are you going to do today?
I'm gonna win.
You're going to win.
And every week she got better and better and better and better. And so, I mean, she was excited to do that, and then finally she was beating everybody.
Okay, Danica is really out pressing my lead.
And by the end of her first year, I mean, she had broken a track record. A lot of people said couldn't be broken.
All these plaques are from individual events from all over the country. This is Danica Patrick, the early years here. All these.
I think she's just obsessed with winning. She's won so much that she refuses to take second.
And I got a first place. I get very upset when I don't win. Second place is definitely not satisfactory for me. I got 2 second places.
That's the edge. That's the difference between just being a competitor and being a winner, is the fact that you are obsessed with winning.
The one thing missing from this room, though, is the Indianapolis 500 trophy. That's my goal. If I get that, I'll be putting that in a glass case and pet it and shine it up every now and then. That's what's missing in here.
Well, Danica Patrick now sitting on board the Pioneer Argent 16 car, and I'll tell you what, 4 races into it, and she looks very good. Here was the situation in St. Pete. Probably would have finished higher on the final standings had she not had a mishap losing top-end gears. But Danica Patrick, very strong, very impressive. A lot of people thought she's coming on board. It's going to take her a while. Not the case. Danica Patrick's learning curve has been very, very short. We're in Japan, and it's Danica Patrick leading lap number 19 of 200.
And this driver, all the fans are standing around to see right now. Danica Patrick, I know it's been a long day for you. How did you sleep last night knowing that today was pole day, perhaps?
I didn't. It's simple as that. I didn't really sleep very well, and I don't know if it had to do with the noise next door or the rain or what, or maybe nerves, I guess. But I have another night here to lose some sleep, I'm sure. I'm excited, though, you know. I mean, I think this is what happens when everything comes to a head and big things could happen.
Now, you told me earlier you're not feeling so well, you're a little under the weather. Is there just so much going on, and how are you keeping your head down to stay focused and keep yourself healthy?
You know, I don't feel too bad. I just got the sniffles a little bit. I'm sure I caught a cold from someone's Sharpie here. I've signed a lot of autographs. I've tried to be a good trooper out here, but you know, I'm flattered with all the fans, though, and I wouldn't trade it for a cold.
Well, Danica, you came into Indy this week off a great run in Japan. Surprised a lot of people. I'm sure surprised yourself at how well and how quickly you've adapted. Were you surprised?
A little bit. I was a little bit surprised, I guess, but I knew it would happen someday. I probably wasn't expecting it quite so soon, but I can tell you, I definitely wasn't expecting, you know, to be going for the pole here at Indy my first year, but how can I doubt it when I drive for such a good team, you know?
Well, Danica Patrick has been preparing for this moment to be in Indy her whole life. It's a dream come true, I would imagine. Girl, first one on the track the month of May. What did it feel like?
It's a bit of a trend for me, actually. When I was younger driving go-karts, that was what we wanted to do, is be the first one on the track. And I don't know if you feel like you get a jump start, but I think maybe I have. Who knows? I'm a rookie here, and it's going pretty well. So I'm going to put it down to first lap on the track.
All right, well, you're going for the pole, like you said. Nobody really knew or had you in contention to be one of the Elite 11 and perhaps put it on the pole. What do you think your chances are right now?
I wouldn't be optimistic in expecting it if it wasn't possible, and I think the chances are very good. And I think that, you know, I've done a fair bit of running around by myself. I don't know exactly what everyone else has done, but I haven't been trying to tow around and get the fastest times, even though we've been going pretty good. So I think that's a good sign.
pretty good, the fastest on Thursday. What do you guys think about the girl?
You know, the attendance for a race like this, usually they can hold up to about 300,000 people at the Brickyard. Today, the attendance is 3. The only people in the stands right now, the Romaker family, drove up here from Ohio. Didn't they tell you guys they canceled qualifying?
No, they did.
Yeah, I mean, what are you doing here?
Well, we're just sitting here waiting.
We just saw a piece on Danica Patrick. What do you think about her chances to win the race?
I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see tomorrow.
I know these guys also are huge Sam Hornish fans, being from Ohio. You got your big bag of peanuts here. You got your family here. You look like you know what you're doing at the Indy 500.
Yeah, you're right. We have a lot of fun.
How many of these have you been to?
Well, started in 1969. Coming every year.
You've been to every single one since '69.
Yes, sir.
Todd, these guys aren't going anywhere. In fact, every time the street sweeper comes around the track, they stand up and cheer. They are desperate to see racing. Back to you guys.
2 words, hardcore. Those fans are definitely what make this place so great. Scotty, let's talk about Danica Patrick. I know there's been a lot of hype, a lot of talk. She embraces her sexuality, her femaleness, but is she the real deal?
You know, I got to believe that she is, certainly from the fact that she understands what it takes to get this job done. She is with a very good team. She is with one of the best engine manufacturers, Honda. She's got 2 great teammates with Buddy Rice and Vitor Meira that understand how to go fast. But the most important thing is that she is absorbing all that information, and she's doing it herself when she gets inside the cockpit. When you put the helmet on and slide inside that cockpit and start driving that car, nobody else is helping you except for the driver. So I think everybody in this garage area right now has been very impressed with her, and 227.633 miles an hour, I've done it. That's fast around this speedway.
Buddy Rice, the 2004 Indy champion, told me that Danica has been fantastic to the team and as a teammate because she's taking so much pressure off. She is mobbed, as we saw in Japan, by media, by fans, and Buddy says that allows him to concentrate on the driving. As a teammate, though, is she a distraction at all, would you think?
No, I think Buddy's hit it right on the head, certainly from the fact that when you have so much of the cameras on you because you've won this race before. We've seen it with all the other drivers that have won here before. A lot of times the drivers come back and they don't do very well the next year coming back here, with the exception maybe recently of Elio Castroneves winning twice in a row. But right now, you know, those guys, especially Vitor, is sitting back out of the limelight a little bit. You know, if I had to look at a dark horse for the month of May, I'd probably have to look at Vitor because he's got the package, he's got the understanding, he's very quick, and he's just very happy to have those 2 guys off there, guy and girl, turning around and getting all the limelight.
No question about it. Should be a great month of May. Still much more to come. We'll talk to more drivers. We'll get more strategy. If you're just joining us, rain has washed out pole day, but we continue on. We persevere and give you more insight as we prepare for the 89th running of the Indianapolis 500 on May 29th, only on ABC Sports. Back with more after this.
Metro Restaurants.
Welcome back to Indianapolis, Indiana, as we prepare for the 89th running of the Indianapolis 500. Today's scheduled time trials washed out. We'll try again tomorrow. There you see the 3 skid marks, 3 sets of skid marks. Accidents taking place earlier in the week. Going into that safer barrier, Buddy Rice did it first. Then it was Paul Dana. We also saw Darren Manning going into that safer barrier. But this is a piece of technology that has not only saved drivers' lives, it has saved a lot of equipment as well.
The whole concept of the safer barrier is to develop virtually an entire wall that can move. That when the car impacts it, the whole system gives, not just a very small part. So the safer barrier is simply a series of steel tubes that are stacked on top of each other.
Our original goal was to take from 25 to 50 G's out of any crash. That would be significant in reducing injury. And indeed, I think it just about does that, depending on how you hit it.
There's the green, and he's on it.
I think for me, the safer barrier was a really good idea in safety innovation until I hit it in turn 1 in Indy, and then I thought it was a great idea.
And against the wall is Brian Herda.
I think without the safer wall, I can say with some degree of certainty that, you know, I probably would have missed that race and maybe a few more.
One of the improvements to the safer barrier is the way that the tubes are configured when a car does impact it, especially an IRL car. there's going to be less damage done to the system, which means that there's less chance of having to delay the race to repair it. The other improvement was to reconfigure those styrofoam bundles that are actually absorbing the energy. They're a different shape so that they absorb the energy more efficiently. It allows the barrier to move a little quicker, a little easier upon initial impact.
Without a doubt, at least in my mind, I think it's the single most important safety innovation in our lifetime.
And I think once we showed it here, it was only a matter of time before other racetracks knew they had to install it, just simply for the sake of moving racing technology forward.
The safer barrier, an amazing piece of technology. Scott, I'll ask you this question, and I know what Mrs. Goodyear, Leslie, would say, but if safer barrier was around when you were driving, would you still be driving?
You know, I'd have to say, once you hit 40, I got to tell you, I think overall you have to turn around and say you're old enough. You know, for me, I have to say that the safer barrier probably would have saved me breaking my back twice in my career, and I think that's what you hear from the drivers right now, that they know it's something that they can rely on to maybe decrease the amount of injuries that they may have if they hit the safer barrier. The wall, I can tell you from hitting it myself, it's hard.
We saw the accidents earlier this week with Paul Dana and, of course, Buddy Rice, the earliest one, but the technology is amazing. It's only an improvement, but the speeds you guys are carrying, or the drivers that we're going to see running the 89th, 8500, is it an absolute must?
I think it is. You know, the steel and foam energy reduction, as they always call it, is something that we've actually wanted to hear from Tony George for many years. He's actually put his own money into this program. He's turned around with the University of Nebraska and had this thing developed, and right now they're on phase 2 of it, and I think overall we're feeling that we're very, very comfortable with it.
Well, you see the turns here at the old Brickyard, and they are very grippy. That, according to many drivers and Brian Barnhart. As we check in for more on the track, here's our colleague, Jack Arute.
Well, it's time for the Yamaha Tech Desk, and guys, I had to come out behind the desk because what we want to talk about is what you're seeing right there. It's called diamond grinding. You heard Brian Barnhart talking about the fact this entire racetrack, despite being completely repaved, was ground by diamond grinding. And what it has done is it's returned the track to the consistency that so many of the drivers are used to. So everybody's been asking me, what is diamond grinding? So I thought maybe we'd do a little diamond grinding 101. What we have right here is one of the plates that are actually used to cut the grooves in the racetrack. And if you look real closely, you can see some sparkle, especially in the sun here, guys. Those are actual pieces of diamond that provide the cutting surface that cuts the grooves into the racetrack. So in order to diamond grind this entire old speedway at 2.5 miles, they took 40 of these plates, strung them together on a machine, and made a pass all the way around the 2.5 mile racetrack. In order to do it, it took 10.5 hours to make one pass at 14 passes to complete the whole diamond grinding process. What has it done? Well, as Brian Barnhart told us, it has returned the racetrack to high grip. When the pavement was down, and here's a good indication of new pavement, it's smooth and it still has a little bit of a petroleum sheen to it for a couple of years. The speedy way to return the track to familiarity for drivers, diamond grind it, put some grooves in it, get it sticky, get it grippy. That's why we're going fast.
All right, thank you very much, Jack. Well, I'll tell you what, there's only one new episode left of Desperate Housewives before the amazing season finale. Terry Hatcher, Felicity Huffman, Eva Longoria, and Marcia Cross, Nicolette Sheridan star. The truth is coming out, and things are changing on Wisteria Lane. It's on Sunday at 9, 8 Central, and it's only on ABC. When we come back to the Brickyard, we will meet the voice of the Indy 500, the 60-year anniversary of Mr. Tom Carnegie. Stay with us much more as we prepare for the 89th running of the Indianapolis 500 here on ABC.